Hey guys, I'm here to break down the Masters. What happened on Friday? There was a lot of hoopla surrounding our boy Tiger Woods. He on his 15th hole, he came up. He got a good drive off the tee. It was in the middle of the fairway. On his second shot, he took the shot, and talk about a bad break. Just headed right for the hole. It ricocheted off the flagpole, rolled all the way into the water. And so Tiger Woods had some options. He could either obviously he didn't pick the right thing because there was people in an uproar about this. He decided to take a drop. He took it 2 yards back from the original spot, ended up knocking it close to the hole and saving the hole, the bogey. And he was tied for second at this point. And so what had happened was apparently he could have been disqualified for his drop that he had taken because under Rule 261, Woods had three options at the hazard, which is the pond that fronts the green. He could have played from the designated drop area, which he chose not to do because he didn't like the lie. He could have dropped the ball, keeping the point at which it last crossed the margin of water between the hole and the spot on which the ball would be dropped. Since the ball entered the water well left of Wood's position from the fairway, it would seem he did not choose this option, which would have allowed him to drop on a straight line as far back as he wanted to. Or he could have just simply returned to the original spot where he played and dropped as nearly as possible from where he played the third shot. But what Woods decided to do was he decided he didn't like the muddy area or the drop area, and so he decided to scoot back 2 yards. And as I said earlier, he ended up bogeying the hole, which he was tied for second at this point. Well, Saturday morning rolls around, and he gets an urgent call from his agent telling him he needs to get down to the Masters to talk to the advisors, and it was because his drop was probably going to be deemed ineligible, and he was going to be disqualified from the Masters. And so, and what the crazy thing is, when he made the drop, there was an official right there saying everything was cool, and they even reviewed it throughout his time while he was playing, and they let him sign a scorecard at the end. And so this was a whole debacle, and it all started by a fan calling in and saying, "Hey, he's got some guy eating bonbons sitting on his couch watching the Masters. Calls in and says, hey, that drop's illegal." Since when does the PGA start listening to fans? That's like me calling in the Super Bowl and saying, "Hey, that guy got held. You should call that touchdown back," and them actually doing it. Or me calling in and saying, "Hey, Blue, you remember that Braves Cardinals game, wild card game? That was an infield fly. You should set the bases back the way they're supposed to be." No, people don't listen to fans. So why, in this case, is the PGA taking some fans' advice when they already made the call and they should stick by it? And so I'm a believer that Tiger Woods did the right thing. He should have stayed in there. He shouldn't. Everybody says he should have just disqualified himself. No, he did get a two-stroke penalty, so he was penalized for the drop, but it did not merit disqualification from the whole tournament. So for me, it was sad to see him come up short. He did have a chance there at the end, and we'll never know how this drop affected his play and how that two-stroke penalty in the end may have cost Tiger another green jacket.